So just when you think we got all the reveals that came from JT Prime 17, it seems that there's going to be other stuff down the line. But we're not just talking now Earthrise. We're talking a whole bunch of different Transformer stuff across the different sublines. So let's jump into first the reveals here that we have from Studio Series. It seems that we're going to be getting a Generation Studio Series Blitzwing, probably, of course, 100% based off of the Bumblebee movie one. Now, when it comes to this character, we've had a retooled, not that great Megatron toy into Blitzwing that turned into a tank. It was like that Nitro series stuff. And then we had that not that very great also Bumblebee movie toy line, Voyager-esque scale Blitzwing figure that turns into a jet. Now again, the problem with the Bumblebee movie main line is stuff is very simplified, and if you really wanted good representations of those characters, you looked at Studio Series. The thing that this presents is, and it really makes me ask a question, what alt mode they're going to go with. Obviously, I guess in this case, they're going to go with the jet mode. We have no reason otherwise to think that Blitzwing turns into a tank. We just have this lone Megatron toy that has been retooled into a Blitzwing, and it doesn't even look like Blitzwing, to be honest. And it's the only example that says, hey, this is Blitzwing and he turns into a tank. So I'm going to guess it's going to be a Voyager scale. It's going to look a lot nicer than anything we've gotten up to this point outside of non-transformable statuesque kind of stuff. And yeah, it's going to look pretty good, even though it's going to look kind of like a movie Starscream. But that's a whole other thing. Another one we have here, and this is an interesting one, and I think it's more just maybe a placeholder name. We have Generation Studio Series Voyager Skipjack. Now, the name Skipjack, if you kind of like dig through Transformers history, Skipjack was actually one of the production names for Rampage. And if you just look at the name Skipjack, oh, it's that pogo stick Constructicon member, Rampage. Yeah, that's correct. And he was called Skipjack in the production, just like how a lot of Michael Bay movie robots kind of had production names before they made it to the final thing. Like how Barricade at one point was called Soundwave, or how a Bone Crusher at one point I think was called Rampage. Like there was just a whole bunch of little weird names that they would give these characters. Now, the funny thing is that Skipjack later on would get a mild character in that of the Easy collection through Japan, and they would just take the Easy collection Rampage, give it a yellowy orange kind of color scheme, and call it Skipjack as an homage to his prototype name, just to probably fill out the line of the Easy collection in Japan. But again, I get a feeling this is just a placeholder name. It's obviously going to be an individual Rampage, unless they didn't have the rights to Rampage, which I firmly do not believe 200%, because we just had the Predaking figure, and not to mention it's the listing is followed by Scrapper, which it's pretty obvious what's going on with that. They also mentioned Sentinel Prime. We know about that one too, although it says a Voyager scale one here. I could have swore it was a leader class originally, but maybe I'm wrong on that one. I'd have to double check. Let's jump into Earthrise. Now, most of the stuff that they reveal here is stuff that we just recently talked about: the Quintesson, the Snapdragon, the Astro Patrol, the Racetrack Patrol, the Battle Squad. But here's a listing here that we didn't expect: War for Cybertron, Earthrise, E Voyager, E Megatron. I'm going to go with it's probably going to be Earth Megatron, but this begs the question: if the Siege one turned into a tank, and that wasn't an Earth Megatron, what does this turn into? Is the tank Megatron that we got with Siege more of a Cybertronian tank with the sword and the very G1 looking robot mode? Are we going to get something here that's a Voyager scale that's even more Generation 1 looking, much like how we got a really good G1 looking Optimus Prime through Earthrise? Or, dare I say, is this thing going to turn into some kind of gun and or cannon? Very hard to say. This is an interesting one. Maybe we're just going to get a much more Earth-looking tank or something as opposed to the one that we got. But that's one that's really up in the air. I'm really curious what people think this possible Earth Megatron could be. The only left turn I could think this could be is if it's not even based off of a G1 Megatron. Maybe it could be a G2 Megatron. tank. Maybe it could be a Armada Megatron tank. Maybe it could be a Megatron homage to that of, I wouldn't see it in the Voyager scale, but that of, let's say, Cybertron, because we already got the Galaxy Force Cybertron Optimus Prime get a toy, but that was a leader class, and I can't imagine the Galaxy Force Cybertron Megatron being a Voyager scale. But anyways, it could be one of those. Could be something very left field, unexpected. Who knows? Maybe Earth Megatron is Beast Megatron. But now I'm getting crazy. The last two things to mention here is there's also Cyberverse reveals. Now, of course, within that is the Skull Cruncher that we knew about that was coming. But there's two here that are interesting. We have Ultra Scale Thunderhowl. Now, we already know that Thunderhowl is going to be this black character, this black robot from the Deluxe line that's going to be in the Wave 2 of the Deluxes along with Hot Rod and RC. But we didn't know that he was going to be anything bigger than that, and it looks like we're also going to be getting an Ultra Scale of this figure and this character. The other one here really makes me raise an eyebrow. Ultimate Scale Iaconus. What? Are we going to be getting something that transforms like the city of Iacon? Are we going to get some kind of city form? Now, keep in mind, the Ultimate Scale in Cyberverse has been reserved for a lot of weird kind of toys up to this point. We kind of got like an Optimus that combines with the Ark, even though that's something that's supposed to be a big spaceship, thing. It's, small enough to make an armor for Optimus Prime. Is it something like that? Is it going to be a mini city that transforms and attaches to a character like a Spark Armor? Is this a base former? Are we seeing something in similar to that of the Season 2 episode that had the huge base former in the city speakers? It's a big question. But an Iaconus, that's a city right there. And it's a product that's probably going to transform. So it's a lot of questions there, and it's something that might even be a little bit of a spoiler for Season 3 of the show. But we'll definitely find out soon enough, because next month is New York Toy Fair. So all of this stuff that we've been discussing the past couple of days will finally be seen with our two own eyes when New York Toy Fair comes up next month. New York Toy Fair 2020. And we're going to cover it as deep as we can possible. But this is a lot of weird stuff. Let me know what you think about all of this, because this is a lot of question marks. And even me, with my knowledge, I'm kind of going like, Iaconus, Earth Megatron, Skipjack. What's going on here? Let me know what you think.